Hey, so let's talk about New Year's resolutions and why they don't work. I mean, maybe you've had some anomaly of an experience where you actually carried through on your New Year's resolutions, but if you're like me, I don't know anybody that has success with New Year's resolutions. Let's rewind a little bit and go back to, many years ago, before I used the 3x5 goal setting program. I was a big New Year's guy, New Year's resolutions. I was all about it. About the middle of December, I would start this audit of my life and everything that I wanted to do. And it was great, those are good exercises, by the way, to do. And so I don't discount any of that, but I would go through and kind of see what I wanted to do this year, what I want to do different, what I failed at last year. And I even gave it a theme. I'd pick a keyword, I'd do a theme, and I was all fired up. January 1st, boom, coming out of the gate. It's a new me. This is the year. I'm going to make something happen. And hit the ground running, and I would do well I'd probably last longer than some. I mean, I've heard statistically that most New Year's resolutions don't last beyond a few weeks. I don't think outside of January, you're already in the minority. Certainly by March, if you're still going at it, you are doing really well compared to most people. And I've given it some thought, and I've studied up on it, and I've read, and I've listened to what other people have thought, and I've mixed in some of my own opinions, and here's what I've come up with. New Year's resolutions really don't work because they are too long-term. That's, I think, the biggest reason. You think about it. Now let me unpack that for you. January 1st, you have a resolution to do what? Well, whatever it is, lose weight, make more money. Those are the two big ones. Get organized. I want to have a good family relationship. I want to, solidify my relationship with my wife, or whatever it is. You've got a year to do it. That's 12 months. 365 days. Now, most people don't know what they're doing next week, let alone what they're doing next year, by the end of the year. And it's really hard for us to wrap our brains around planning that far ahead. Most people. Now, I think most people fall into the category because we don't plan so far in advance that 1 year stretches us. Whether we like to believe it consciously or not, it's a bit of a foreign concept for us to wrap our minds around. So 1 year from now, so much can happen. So our goals, especially our one main goal, ought to be something that's achievable within the next 3 to 6 months. Okay, and I'm not talking about your bucket list, what you want to do with your life, 5, 10 years. Someday I'd like to travel the world, or that kind of thing. If you're hardly making any money, your one main goal should not be, I want to be a millionaire in the next 3 to 6 months. If it's that's too far out there from the track record that you've been at. If you've got some momentum, you've made $250,000 in a half a year, then maybe your goal should be to make $1 million in the next 3 to 6 months. All right, that would stretch you, but you have to be realistic from where you've been to where you're going. And most of that does not happen, or it's hard to plan for that to happen in a 12-month period of time. It's just too far out. So if you're going through the motions of setting goals on a New Year's resolution kind of a schedule, my opinion, you're going about it the wrong way, because you're setting your goals too far out in advance, too far out. And you need to not go on a clock like everybody else. January 1st, I'm going to do all this great stuff. And maybe it so happens that that's when you achieve your previous goal and you're ready for a new one. But here's how it should work, all right? January 1st aside, who needs January 1st? Start today. Start right now. If you are not used to setting goals and you're ready for a change, why wait 1, 2, 3, 4 months away? Some people do this. It's a psychology game. Like, okay, I'm going to lose weight, but you know what? I'm going to start January 1st because that's when society has told me is the right time for me to set goals. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put my life on hold for the next 2 months, waiting because, we're in November, so December, January, then I'll get started or whatever. We get these weird things, these weird thought processes in our minds where for some strange reason we feel like that's how we have to do it because that's how everybody else does it, right? Everybody does New Year's resolutions. That's how I've got to do it. Must work. Well, I don't know anybody that New Year's resolutions work for. You might be the one exception. I don't know. So, number one, get that out of your brain. Start today. Start tomorrow. Just start setting goals. And don't set your goals so far out that they're unachievable, that your brain can't wrap its mind around it. Set your goals, I teach, 3 to 6 months out. In the next 3 to 6 months, what one great thing, one main goal, OMG, what's your OMG, or one main goal, 3 to 6 months out? What's it going to be? What does that look like? Then break that down into smaller steps, monthlies. So if it's a 3-month goal, you've got 3 major steps to get there. If it's $100,000 you need to make, well, your first step might be to make $20,000. Your next step might be to make $60,000. There's a momentum component that you want to include in something like that. Well, I don't know. I'm just throwing stuff out, but but set your goals 3 to 6 months out, and then break them down into a month, and then what you're going to do each week to support that month. And the 3x5 system incorporates all that. So that's my advice. That's my thinking. Let me know what you think. Have you ever, not even you, but anyone you know, successfully been a New Year's resolution setter? Have you heard of these people? Do they exist? If they're out there, I'd love to meet them, because I hear, all over the internet, all over, commercials, Facebook, everywhere we go, you're going to see all this big push for New Year's resolutions. It's time to start fresh, brand new, January 1st this and that, and yet the overwhelming majority drop off. It's crazy. Why do we do it? I don't know. Start today. Throw that all out the window. Start a new program. Make it count. Make it doable. Make it shorter periods of time, 3 to 6 months, as I said, and get some results and see what a difference that'll make for you. And do one at a time. One main goal. What's the one thing that's going to make the biggest impact in your life? Focus on that. Focus. You can't focus on multiple things. It undermines the whole idea of focus. So focus on one thing, 3 to 6 months. Watch how it changes the way that you set goals. And throw New Year's resolutions out the window where it belongs. Have a great day.